Hi everyone, this is Shiloh from Glassworld. Thank you for joining us for another video here during Resin Awareness Month. This month we're focusing on all the technical stuff, kind of our opportunity to nerd out a little bit on windshield repair resin and teach you some of the details about the differences in technology. Now our video today is focused on the polarized technology that's in the onyx resin and how that compares to some of the older technology, both in tinted resin as well as the traditional technology used in clear resin in the windshield repair industry. So we're going to educate you a little bit on all those differences. Now here's why that matters. Here's the first thing about that. We all know that when we do a repair for our customer, the biggest thing that customers care about is how does it look, right? At the end of the day, they want the repair to be as invisible as possible. Now we know it's important to set the expectation properly. We also know it's important to use good equipment and good techniques to get a good quality repair. But if your repairs still aren't looking great, it could be because the resin you're using really isn't helping to hide any of the reflectivity and refraction in those little cracks. So that's where onyx and the polarized technology that's in the onyx patent comes in. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today, but that really just translates to your customers being happier with the finished repair. Now let's talk about the traditional thinking, and then we're going to discuss how that compares. Now, traditionally in the windshield repair industry for a long time, people used clear resins on almost every repair, which is fine. For a decent result, you can use a clear resin. And what they would do is they would try to use an index that we call the refractive index, which is basically just a measurement of how light moves through glass, how it comes through at an angle and then transfers out through the other side. And so the attempt was to match a surface of glass to the resin material as close as possible. But here's the problem. When you use that method, when you think about every crack or every rock chip you've ever worked on, is there one angle? There's not, right? There's dozens of angles, in fact. You have a little break with this leg running this way and this leg running that way and this leg running that way, and they're all running in different directions. And so refractive index basically is just a mathematical problem that says as light comes through at a certain angle, it transfers out at another angle. But since we're using so many different angles in every rock chip, there's no way to possibly match the refractive index of every single surface and get that disguising that we really want from all of those surfaces. So depending on where you sit in the car, you're gonna see the repair. You're gonna see that reflection, that refraction that's happening inside each one of those little angles. So the refractive index does very little to actually really hide the repair. So that's the problem with traditional technology. Now, about 15 years ago, Glassworld introduced tinted resins, which helped to reduce that fiber optic effect by essentially sort of canceling out some of the color and the fiber optic effects that we see in different types of repair. That's where the gray or the amber resin work awesome for that. But with onyx, we were able to take a whole new step in a giant direction of disguising windshield repairs by introducing this polarized technology. Now, what this does is basically we're using submicron particles, so tiny little particles that actually help to strengthen the resin, that contribute to the black color in the resin. They float through those tiny little cracks in all those angles, especially if you're using a little bit of vibration with our new little multi-purpose drill. Amazing, because all those little particles get into the tiniest little spaces. Then when you harden that with your UV curing light, hopefully the ProCure Smart Light, you're able to create a polarized effect in all of those little spaces. So it's almost like putting sunglasses on for everyone who's sitting in the car looking through that repair. Those angles are dissipated dramatically. So it's like when you have polarized sunglasses on, the light comes through at one angle or two axis instead of 7 or 8. So your eye relaxes, you see the repair less, so it translates to happier customers and just better looking repairs. If you haven't tried onyx yet, you gotta try it. You'll see the difference for yourself, especially after you've done the curing process and sitting inside the vehicle after fully cured. It's pretty dramatic, the difference between the older technology and the onyx resin. So we hope that helps you to maybe distinguish yourself with your customers. You can talk about using onyx resin, how you use this patented technology, and that's one of the reasons why your repairs look better. It's one of the reasons maybe why you charge more in your business, because you use a higher quality product and it helps to set you apart from your competitors in your local market. We hope that helps to educate you and helps you to educate your customers and understand a little bit of the science behind the polarized technology in the Onyx resin. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you don't miss any of the Resin Awareness Month videos this month on resin strength testing, on accelerated weather testing, on durability, any of the other assets that we're putting out there to help you promote your business and your services as well. And we look forward to seeing you on the next video from Glass World.